From satellite to wire internet in central Georgia. William Hovey Smith, 2024.
This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman. And guess what? We are finally really connected by wire to the world. Indeed. Our internet connection by wire was just put in through our local EMC. And this concludes a nearly month-long process. And I'll take you through that process. But right now we have a letter. This is from Hughes, the satellite provider. And it says, charge an unreturned equipment fee up to $550. They won't stop that. They do. Which may include blah, 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 and so on and so on and so on. So consequently, we have to take that dish antenna off the house, extract parts from it, extract parts from my computer assembly, box them up, ship them back, send them away, or we'll be charged for it. Hughes does provide you with a little booklet, Returning Your Leased Equipment Here, in which they actually show you pictures of the items that they wish returned. And this comes in the box that they sent you. Now if they sent you a smallish box, say 12 by 12 by about 6 inches, then what you need to return is the radio, which is on the roof, as well as the modem, which is by your computer. The modem is marked Hughes, and it has a series of lights on it that come on and blink, blink, blink when you fire it up, and that's that instrument. And with the modem, you need to also use the power supply. And you may, if you wish, return a couple of other items that are actually on the dish antenna itself. Now the dish antenna is a pretty solid piece of stuff. Altogether mounted on the roof, it weighs more or less 50 pounds. It's difficult to handle, particularly as bulky and outsize as it is, because you have the round dish about like yay, and then you have a tripod leg on it, and all of this is bolted, hopefully, onto something solid. Now, incidentally, these are 1/2-inch bolts, although they don't bother to tell you that. They're only interested in getting, basically, the radio, the modem, and the power supply back. So if you've got a small box, as I described, then that's all. Now, if you've got a bigger box, then there's more instrumentation, which I do not have to show you because I don't have it in the house. But so if you got a bigger box with 2 boxes, yeah, there's more stuff. If you got one smaller box with a very complicated interior partitions system, yeah, then you have just basically the 2 items to return. From inside the house, you have one assembly consisting of 3 components. This is the modem, and this is a part that where the lights blink on and off when you turn on the machine. This is the power supply, and both are marked Hughes, so there should be no confusion, because you may have more than one power supply running around your computer table. I certainly do, and I'm glad to get rid of this extra wiring and junk down there. And this is the power cord itself, which is detachable. It has this very good plug right here and 3 holes, and this comes out easily, and you should. Now, this one you do not attempt to attach. This stays attached. It's wired inside, so Don't try yanking on that one. So, one part done. Now, if you return this, you'd save yourself a $100 fee for the satellite modem and power supply. Okay? So this saves you $100 for doing this disconnecting here. And what it requires is pliers, for most people, I would think, to unscrew right here, which is unscrews it from the cord which connects it to the antenna itself. And this should be done before you do any work on the antenna. Okay? They provide instructions on how you should pack this in the box. Thus far we have the interior stuff. So this is the power cord that went on top. Then here is your modem right here, and the power supply with it is here, and the cord coiled inside. So you put your modem in, you close up the little box components here, and you proceed, push and shove. Range, there we go. So you get everything down and flat, and you leave these tabs up, by the way, because they add support. And you can put your little coil of cord there right on the top, and the radio unit is going to go here.
Support this channel by buying my outdoor books, business books, novels, and viewing my more than 1,000 YouTube videos. Now, in my videos, I of course talk about my books. I talk about bow fishing, I talk about hunting, I talk about crossbow hunting, muzzle loading, and what to do with yourself in the workplace, whether you're currently employed or not employed or want to be employed, and my novels, and my screenplays involving my novels' characters. And all of these I talk about on YouTube. Yes. So, this wired-in internet is great. I mean, it used to take me hours to post up a video. Now I can do it in minutes. And that is a great advance in the art. We have returned to the scene of the crime. This unit is what was on top of the house at the very edge of my roof up there. And this is the radio unit, which they would like returned, and I have every intention of doing so. The instructions say that there is a Phillips screw that needs to be removed, which will allow the radio unit to be detached and also the cable here to be cut. Well, now this cable has been cut, so that's all right. And let's see about this screw. Yes, it can be removed. And let us see what happens. Voila! We are free. Now that we remove the radio unit, which was here, what are we going to do with the rest of it? Well, interestingly enough, this antenna is interesting to me as a potential platform for an artist to paint a picture on. There are artists who specialize in painting things like old disc harrow blades,
and with agricultural scenes. Well, this dish would be a natural for a satellite scene showing Earth in a semicircle down here, space, and a satellite going by. And I would be very pleased to send or sell for nominal cost this thing to an artist to do such a painting. I have commissioned the paintings before, but I really don't have the money or time to do that right now. But yeah, that is one use for such an antenna. And I could see this antenna hanging in some boy's bedroom. It is metal. It is salvageable. Now for the rest of the tripod. I'm a military engineer. And as such, we commonly adapt things to other uses. Well, this tripod is flexible, it's adjustable, at least in one direction this way. And yeah, I could rig a mount on it to put a heavy weapon, such as a recoilless rifle, or a 50 caliber Browning machine gun, or something of that ilk. But I'm out of that business anymore. And I use tripods, but I don't want to handle anything this heavy out in the field. So unfortunately, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and scrap it. So we're going to recover the dish for the artist, remove this, remove the cable, and sell that for scrap. Each year, thousands of people are graduated with degrees in art from universities and colleges and junior colleges all over the nation. And each of them has a chore. And that is, if they are going to practice as independent artists, or even make a name of any sort for themselves, they've got to come up with an original style of something. Well, I can't say that this has not been done before, because it's so obvious I would imagine somebody has. But this is a platform for artistic expression. As mentioned before, this can be set up, painted on, scenes of space on the top, Earth on the bottom, and in space you could have any number of things. You could have satellites, you could have dragons, you could have fanciful figures, anything you liked. And even a sleeping kid down below, for example. So, this is one way that an artist, now that these dishes are available, to get materials to paint on for little cost, develop a distinctive style, paint a variety of scenes on various of them. With these bolts, you even have a convenient hanger already attached. You don't have to worry about that. This is steel, so it could go exteriorly, although it would be best on the interior, particularly when you're painting it. But this opens a world of possibilities for starting artists who come to the question of, yeah, I spent all this time in college painting and copying others' work, and now I've got to come up with something new. Well, this might be it for you. And if it is, let me know, and we'll see if we can get it to you. We now have the receiver broken down into various components. And we have the disc itself for the artist. Next, that is a piece of molded plastic. So that can't go to the recycler, at least not as metal. And then we have the main mass of the tripod, which is galvanized steel mostly. And at the very end, we have the cable itself. As the day progressed, my pile of cable increased. Because I pulled that out from under the house, as well as some that was running alongside the house on the outside. The last thing I want to do is, in future years, get a weed eater or lawnmower or anything else caught up in this mess. So the best solution for me right now is to go ahead and get it all out. And here, our last piece can go in the box here. Okay, and you want these on the inside rather than on the outside. All right, and so we close, push everything down a little bit. Give us some tape. And we have our return label, which we can put right on top of the previous one. All right, and that is ready to go. But, and we have now completed our task. This is Hughes Smith reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe. Goodbye, God bless, and see you next time. After salvaging nuts and bolts, the steel components were recycled. Now the vendor would not accept that cable because of the very small amount of copper that it contained. Before the day was done, the box was shipped and that whole mess was out of my hair.